This week, we open the second book of the Torah, the book of Exodus, of Shemot. We open with the death of Yosef. He has died, and we see the children of Israel being put into slavery by a new Pharaoh who, lo yadat Yosef, didn't know Yosef, or more accurately perhaps, didn't acknowledge Yosef. The children of Israel are in slavery and suffering with backbreaking work. They cry out to God in their despair, in their toil and slavery. God hears their cries, and the story of Moshe begins. Moshe is born, but Pharaoh, recognizing that the people of Israel have become tremendously abundant and fruitful, fears that they may end up launching a rebellion against Egypt and joining forces with other nations that look to attack or take over Egypt. And so Paro recognizes that something has to be done about it. He first decides that children should be killed by the midwives who are delivering the babies, but the midwives do not follow Paro's command. And so Paro commands instead that all baby boys should be thrown into the Nile and the girls are allowed to live. And so that occurs in Egypt. But the baby Moshe is born to a man and woman from the house of Levi. Later we know that their names are Amram and Yocheved. He's born and he is hidden for 3 months so that he should not be taken and thrown into the Nile. He is placed into the Nile in a basket of reeds and sent down the river. His sister Miriam walks after him and sees that he ends up in safety in none other than the hands of the daughter of Paro. The daughter of Paro takes him in and she raises him as a prince of Egypt. And Moshe grows up in the royal household of Egypt. Moshe goes out and he sees that one of the members of the children of Israel, one of the slaves, are being beaten by a taskmaster. Moshe takes matters into his own hands and slays the taskmaster, recognizing that he could get into trouble for doing something like that. He flees Egypt and runs away. He reaches later the land of Midian, and there he marries a woman, the daughter of the Kohen of Midian, Yitro, named Tzipporah. And in his days there as a shepherd tending sheep, we are told that God hears the cries of the people, that God remembers the covenant that he established with Abraham, Yitzhak, and Yaakov, and it is now that God enacts the redemption for the children of Israel, to take them out of Egypt and bring them into the land of Canaan, the land that he promised their forefathers that he would bring them into. Moses is the chosen one to redeem the people from Egypt. And on one day near the mountain of Horeb, Moshe sees a bush that is burning, but famously it is not consumed by a fire. Moshe goes to see what is going on with that. And as God sees it, Moses is interested in the phenomena that he's seeing. He calls out to him, Moshe, Moshe. And there begins the dialogue in which God asks Moshe, hires Moshe, commands Moshe to go to Pharaoh and to say to Pharaoh, B'ni bechori Israel, my firstborn Israel is in your hands. Let them go. Let them be free. Moshe argues with God and insists that he's not the man for the job. God insists that he is the man for the job. Moses says, I don't know how to speak. I am heavy of tongue. I have speech impediments. God says, I made the mouth. I made speech. I will be with you. And Moses asks for signs that he could show the children of Israel so that they will believe him. He asks for a name of God that he could say to them so that they will believe him. God engages with all of Moses' requests. He even sends his brother Aaron, Aharon, to speak on his behalf, with Moshe feeling that he was not capable of speaking. And they go to Paro in Egypt. And when they go to Paro in Egypt, they say that God has sent them and that the people should be let free. Paro says they clearly have far too much time on their hands if they've got a savior that they're sending and someone to ask them for free time. They should be completely immersed in work. And if they're not completely immersed in work, nirpim him. They are lazy. And I don't want you, Moses and Aaron, bothering the people from their work. They've got a lot of work to do. So clearly, we're going to take care of the free time. And I command, says Paro, that straw will no longer be provided for the bricks that they are building, that they are using to build the cities that they are building for me. They will gather their own straw. They will make the bricks. And the quota daily will not diminish. That way, I'm sure they will have enough to do. And so Moses and Aaron leave Paro after that decree, and they are in dire straits. The people are terribly upset and immersed in the backbreaking work. They can't even listen to Moshe because they're so frustrated. They're upset that things have gone from bad to worse for them. And Moses looks up to God and says, "Hatzeh lo hitzalta et amecha." You sent me to save them and you haven't saved them. Lama hare'ota. Why have you done this horrible thing to the people? God's response to him is, Moses, stay and watch, wait and see. We've only just begun. And with that, the parasha ends.